SLG1 is what we're going to look at today, and this is also part of Sales and Distribution SD. It's a enter in SLG1 in the top left hand corner, enter, and then you will see this Analyze Application Log. In the Analyze Application Log, you can define what you want to look for. You can look for an object, a sub-object, or an external ID. In this case, we're going to look at an object called ZREVS S1. It's all totally customized object, this one. So you would be just looking to see anything that would be in the application log that relates to ZREVS 1. You may be interested in a time restriction, from a date to a date, from an hour to an hour, from a minute in an hour to another minute in an hour. And here you would define that and be able to see what has happened on a particular time for this particular object in the application log. Or you could just look for logs that are triggered by a particular user if you know who the user was and at the time of the problem. Or you might know of the offending transaction code that might have run at the time. You can define also the type of log, the class of log that you're interested in, or when the log was created. That's the execute button there. Once you've chosen your selection criteria, you would hit the selection button there, and it would then return a screen that would display all records that fit your selection criteria. As in this case here, you can see the object ID, the object text, the sub-object text, the transaction that caused the record to be created, the program, and if it's red, it means it's a failure in the log. So this is what you're interested in, and the time, of course, when it happened. Who the user was would be very useful as well. As you can see here, you can see what the external ID was, the object text, and you would be able to capture an idea of where things went wrong. Now from this, you could actually go and try and correct the problem once you know exactly in which transaction, as in this column here, the error occurred. It's a very useful tool for identifying problems with a particular program or custom-made program ran in sales and distribution. It's often used by developers, but it can be used as a monitoring tool by super users as well, in order to get to a lower level of detail in regards to the problem you have encountered for sales of certain items that have failed in the sales and distribution module in SAP. Now if there was no problem, you would see that the red flag would actually be green instead of red, meaning that there was no failure. Until the problem has been rectified, it would remain like this, and then you would be able to rerun the problem again, and hopefully the red flag will disappear and become green. So in displaying the logs, it's just one more monitoring tool, just like using VX03 to see what has and what has not been billed in the sales and distribution. there are other tools to see what sales orders have been completed and are waiting, or what sales orders are waiting to be completed. In mode, you'll see whether it was batch or dialog processing that caused this particular error. If it's dialog, you can assume that there was a user in SD trying to create a sales and encountered a problem. If batch processing, it may have been a background job and where the error occurred, and not due to any manual intervention. There should be enough detail to identify where and when and who actually was around at the time of the problem in order to investigate it further. If it was a background job, of course, it looks like a problem, a bug in the program, and therefore would need to be referred to the development team who created the program in the first place. And if you click on the left arrow of the red ball, it will bring up a subsection and give you an idea of the error, a little description of the error encountered at this particular time. Problem class error in this case. It's worth drilling down into each record to see what the message was at the time of the error. And this can be referred to the developer when he is about to look at it. So SLG1 application log investigation. You can see the various applications or transactions that we can report errors on for this particular module, sales and distribution. That's it. Thank you very much. This is Super Sexy SAP. Thanks once again for being with me.